Have you ever wondered how different the life of a gay soldier in ancient Rome might have been from today? Ancient Rome, a civilization that flourished for over 1,000 years, was a complex society with a unique structure. At the heart of this society was the Roman military, a force that played a key role in the rise and fall of this powerful empire. The military wasn't just an institution for war, it was a reflection of the Roman society, its values, its morals, and its ideas about masculinity. Let's take a step back for a moment and consider the societal structure of ancient Rome. It was a hierarchical society with the emperor at the top, followed by senators, equestrians, plebeians, and slaves. Each class had its own set of rights and responsibilities, and within this framework, the Roman military was a critical institution. It was one of the few ways for a man to rise above his birth status and gain honor, wealth, and social mobility. But let's shift our focus to a less explored aspect of the Roman military, the life of a gay soldier. To understand this, we first need to understand the concept of homosexuality in ancient Rome. It's crucial to mention that the modern labels of gay, straight, or bisexual didn't exist then. The Romans had a different perspective on sexual preferences, one that was more fluid and less defined by rigid categories. In ancient Rome, perception of homosexuality was not based on the gender of the partners, but rather on the roles they played. It was about power dynamics, dominance, and submission. Being the passive partner, regardless of gender, was seen as unmanly and shameful, especially for a soldier whose masculinity was a critical part of his identity. But what was it like to be a gay soldier during this time? Let's delve deeper into this intriguing aspect of Roman history. As we do, remember that history is not always clear-cut, and the lived experiences of individuals in the past can be vastly different from our own. The truths we uncover may challenge our perceptions and broaden our understanding of this ancient civilization. A soldier's life in ancient Rome was both rigorous and disciplined. The life of a Roman soldier was not for the faint-hearted. It required an unwavering commitment to the Republic, a robust physical constitution, and a level of discipline that was unparalleled for its time. From the moment a young man took the sacred military oath, his life was irrevocably changed. He would leave behind his family, his home, and his former identity to become part of a formidable military machine. The Roman army was not just a fighting force, it was a way of life. Training was brutal and relentless. A soldier was expected to march 20 miles in 5 hours with a full pack, practice weapons drills until they were second nature, and build and dismantle an entire fortified camp. This was the daily grind, a relentless cycle of sweat, toil, and discipline. But it wasn't all hardship and struggle. There were moments of respite, camaraderie, and even festivity. Soldiers would gather around the campfire, sharing stories, playing games, and forming bonds that would last a lifetime. They would share their dreams, their fears, and their hopes for the future. For many, these moments of camaraderie were what made the hardship bearable. The battlefield was a place of terror and glory. Soldiers would face their enemies with a combination of courage, discipline, and the knowledge that their comrades had their backs. There were moments of sheer terror, moments of exhilarating triumph, and moments of devastating loss. But through it all, the soldiers stood together, united by their shared experiences and the bonds of brotherhood. Life as a Roman soldier was not easy, and it was not meant to be. It was a life of duty, discipline, and sacrifice, but it was also a life of camaraderie and shared experiences. The bonds formed in the crucible of battle were strong and enduring. These were men who would lay down their lives for each other, who would stand together in the face of adversity, and who would celebrate victories together. Despite the harsh conditions, strong bonds of brotherhood were formed in the battlefield. This was the life of a Roman soldier, a life of rigor, discipline, and unbreakable bonds. In ancient Rome, homosexuality was not as taboo as it might be in some societies today. This might come as a surprise to many, considering our modern-day perceptions of the ancient world. However, the Romans had a unique perspective on same-sex relationships, especially when compared to our contemporary views. Homosexuality in ancient Rome was not defined by the same binary standards we use today. Romans didn't label people as gay or straight. Instead, they focused more on the roles individuals played in sexual relations. The societal expectations of men revolved around dominance and submission, with the former seen as a sign of masculinity, and the latter often associated with femininity. This perspective allowed for the existence of same-sex relationships, as long as they adhered to these societal norms. A man could have relations with another man, as long as he played the dominant role. This was regarded as a show of strength and virility, rather than a question of sexuality. However, it's important to note that this acceptance didn't extend to everyone. Roman society was heavily stratified, and the same rules didn't apply to all. For instance, freeborn Roman men were expected to be the dominant partners in sexual relationships, while slaves and prostitutes, regardless of their gender, were often subjected to the desires of their masters or patrons. Moreover, public displays of affection between men were frowned upon, as they were seen as a disruption of societal norms. Men in same-sex relationships were expected to maintain a certain level of discretion, as overt displays could lead to social ostracism. In essence, homosexuality in ancient Rome was a complex issue, intertwined with the societal norms of dominance and submission, social status, and public versus private conduct. It was less about who you loved and more about how you loved, with societal expectations shaping the acceptable forms of relationships. These societal norms played a significant role in the life of a gay soldier in ancient Rome. The military was a microcosm of Roman society, reflecting its values, norms, and expectations, and homosexuality was no exception to this rule. Being a gay soldier in ancient Rome was a complex experience shaped by societal norms and military expectations. Imagine a world where your identity is shaped by the society around you, your role in the military, and the relationships you form. This was the reality for gay soldiers in ancient Rome. While homosexuality was not explicitly condemned, it was layered with complexities that made the life of a gay soldier both challenging and unique. In the military sphere, soldiers were expected to embody the virtues of bravery, strength, and masculinity. A gay soldier, much like his heterosexual counterparts, was required to display these characteristics. However, their relationships often bore an extra layer of scrutiny. Romantic relationships between soldiers were not uncommon, but they were expected to follow a certain pattern. Typically, an older, more experienced soldier would take on a mentoring role with a younger recruit. This dynamic, while often including a romantic or sexual component, was primarily about the transfer of knowledge and skills. Navigating societal expectations was another facet of a gay soldier's life. In ancient Rome, the focus was less on the gender of one's partner and more on the roles each individual played within the relationship. A soldier was expected to be dominant and uphold his honor, while his partner was seen as submissive. This often created a dichotomy where a soldier could be openly gay, but still had to navigate the societal expectations of masculinity and dominance. The relationships that gay soldiers formed were not just about love or attraction, but were also a way of navigating their place within Roman society. They served as a means of establishing social hierarchies, imparting wisdom, and creating bonds that would serve them on the battlefield. Despite these challenges, gay soldiers found ways to express their identity while serving in the military. They navigated a world that was complex and layered, but in doing so, they carved out a space for themselves within both the military and Roman society. Their experiences, while unique, offer a glimpse into a part of history that is often overlooked. Despite these challenges, gay soldiers found ways to express their identity while serving in the military. The life of a gay soldier in ancient Rome offers us a unique perspective into the past. As we look back on the historical journey we've embarked on today, we must note the key revelations that have come to light. We began by peeling back the layers of ancient Rome, revealing a society that was as complex and diverse as any we see today. We then delved into the life of a Roman soldier, a role that was fraught with challenges and expectations, yet pivotal to the might of the Roman Empire. We explored the concept of homosexuality in ancient Rome, a topic often shrouded in misconceptions. In this society, sexual preferences did not fall into the binary categories we're familiar with today. Instead, they were seen in a more fluid light, with an emphasis on power dynamics rather than the gender of one's partner. Then, we got a glimpse into the life of a gay soldier. This was not a life marked by shame or secrecy, as might be assumed considering the time period. Instead, it was a life that could hold power, respect, and even honor. These soldiers were not only accepted, but in some cases, celebrated. It was a stark contrast to the marginalization often faced by members of the LGBTQ+ community in later periods of history. This journey into the past has not just been about unveiling history, but also about challenging our preconceived notions. It's shown us that societies can and do evolve, and what may seem unconventional now may have been commonplace in the past. The life of a gay soldier in ancient Rome is a testament to the diversity of human experience. It serves as a reminder that history is not a monolith, but a rich tapestry woven from countless threads of individual lives and experiences. As we continue to delve into history, we uncover more about our past and gain insights about our present and future. Let's continue to question, to explore, and to learn. For in the depths of history lie the seeds of understanding that can help us shape a more inclusive and empathetic world.